I love how this looks. There's so many things about it that I don't understand. And I want to like it, but I'm 50-50 right now. Hey guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews. Today we are going to talk about this thing behind me called a walking pad. That is its name, walking pad. So you know what it does. It's a pad for walking, and that's what we're here to review today. But first, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you can continue to see bad intros just like this one. And if you want to go ahead and purchase this after I'm done talking about this video, we have placed a link below the like button. Also, for transparency's sake, this was sent to us by the company, but I promise you this is a transparent review, and if you continue to watch it, you will see why. So let's talk about the overall cost first. This is not the cheapest walking pad, which is kind of a bummer because there are some better walking pads out there that are cheaper. The Evo, for example. But this one is $5.99 and it does come with free shipping and a 30-day guarantee return. However, if you go ahead and want to return this, you are going to have to pay the shipping costs back to the company. So definitely keep that in mind. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I like about it. One, it comes in 3 different colors, and overall, I mean, the aesthetic on this is actually really nice. It comes in a black, a white, and then a blue color. I actually really like the blue color, and it kind of has this like Jetsons feel, like this modern kind of like vibey walking pad, which I really like. The other thing that I do like about this, although I kind of don't, and I'll explain why. So this does actually fold in half. So if you want to save space, I mean, this can easily be stored like under a bed, in a closet, out of the way. Now, do I think that like, holy shit, where does that even go? Yeah, okay, there you go. If this pops off for you guys, it goes right there. Thanks to Courtney. Okay, so as I was saying, it does fold. So I like that, but also, I mean, this is not a big machine in general. Like, I feel like people are going to have plenty of space to store this. And when it folds, it actually makes it harder to move. So it does have these wheels on the front, which you can see right here, which do help. The problem is when I move it, I want to be able to just like pick it up and move it as is, and it'll fold on me, which scared me the first 10 times I tried to do it. So I want to be able to like pull, and then it does that. But then you kind of have to like old lady roll it. And I just did glutes and like lower back stuff today. So this is not like friendly right now. I don't like that. It doesn't have a handle. So, I mean, I like the idea that it is a foldable treadmill. It saves on space. However, moving it makes it more challenging. And there's no like handlebar on the back to make it easier to move around. So I'm like 50-50 on if I think it's a good idea that it folds in half versus like if I just wish that it was like a non-folding treadmill and just stayed as is. If your priority is like you are in a small New York apartment and you need to save on space and put it in a closet, I mean, I think that's the only benefit to this. But if you are somebody who lives in a house, you're in the Midwest, whatever, you have plenty of closets available, I think that like this is kind of worthless. And again, I mean, this is not a big treadmill, right? It is 47.25 inches by 15.75 inches. So this is not a big treadmill to begin with. So I just don't know. I'm split on the folding issue. Okay, moving on aside from that. Another thing that I really kind of was like just 50-50 on. If you want to go faster than 1.9 miles per hour, you actually have to connect to an app. I don't know why that is. So if I want to go ahead and go up to the top speed of 3.7, which is what it states that it can go to, you have to connect to the app. So went ahead, connected to the app, and let me just tell you, the app is not great. It's a little confusing. I had to go through the setup in order to connect this probably like 5 times. And that just is really annoying. Like every time I had to go through manual mode, automatic mode, tell me about the treadmill. It took me like longer than it should have for such a simple treadmill to be able to use this. I'm 50-50 on the folding mechanism, and I don't like the fact that a simple machine has to connect to an app in order to go faster than 1.9 miles per hour. I think that that is just really, really stupid. But in terms of the way that it functions, I actually really like it. I used it all day yesterday under my desk. Now, do I think it is the quietest under the desk treadmill? Probably not, but it wasn't overly loud. I mean, Courtney was sitting next to me and she didn't yell at me one time to quit walking. So I do feel like that says something because she's my best friend and she'll definitely tell me if I'm annoying her. Okay, so when you are using this treadmill, you have manual or automatic. I would just go ahead and use manual mode. So automatic says that if you are at the top, then you can go ahead and increase your speed. If you are at the middle, you can go ahead and stay at consistent speed. And if you are at the back end, then it'll go ahead and slow down. I have not found this to be true. And in fact, on the website, a lot of people did not find this function helpful at all. Every time I went ahead and moved to the back of the treadmill in order to slow down my pace, it would just completely stop. And that was a common complaint. So I'm not exactly sure if it's a treadmill fault, if it's a programming fault, if it's a user fault. I don't know where the disconnect comes from, but I found it just to be actually really annoying. I would rather go ahead and just use it on manual mode and just continue at that steady pace and continue walking like I would want to walk at, a 3.4 or whatever it is. With this, it doesn't have any buttons on the treadmill, so you can go ahead and use this remote right here or go ahead and connect to the app in order to start the treadmill. So if you lose the remote, at least you have the app backup, even though I don't really like the app, which is different from something like the Go Plus 2-in-1 walking treadmill, which if you lose the remote, you're basically screwed. All right, so I want to show you how loud it actually is as I am walking. On this, it will show your display. So it will show you your steps, it will show you your distance, it will show you your calories burned, and then your time elapsed. So you can go ahead, use the remote. So again, not super loud. One thing I don't love about it is it goes in 0.5 increments, especially when you are on manual mode. So if you want to go a 2.7, you really can't do that. If I switch to automatic, then I can go in 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7. But because I'm at the front, it's going ahead and moving me faster, even though I don't want to. So now, back at the middle, it's a consistent space. It just feels and if I go back to the bottom, it slows down and then stops on me. I don't know. I would just use it in manual mode, but then I can't go from a 2.7 to a 2.9. I have to go from a 2.5 to a 3.0. So there's a lot of things about this that I just don't fully love. It is $5.99, so I do feel like it's more expensive. And for that price point, I wish it just functioned a little bit better and was easier to use. The user weight capacity is 220 pounds, which is quite lower than something like the Eureva walking pad, which has a user weight capacity of 265 pounds. One benefit, again, to this is that it's small and compact. It only weighs 55 pounds, so easy to move around. Overall, here, kind of my final thoughts. I could talk about the fact that, the website says it has a brushless motor, but it doesn't give a motor size, and a couple other things that when you read about it, you go, oh, this is actually really good. This is exactly what I'm looking for. But then as you begin to use it, it just doesn't quite function like you want it to function. So here are my overall thoughts. It is $5.99. I do think that is a high price point. Again, considering the Eureva, which is a great walking pad, is at a $350 mark. I like the overall aesthetic of it. I genuinely do. I think that it looks really nice, especially compared to other walking pads. It has this modern aesthetic with these cool colors that it offers. I like the fact that if you live in a small space, it can fold and you have the ability to store it out of the way. Again, it's lightweight. But is the function of the folding the best? No, I wish you could lock it into place so it's easier to move around if you didn't want to fold it. So for me, I am 50-50 on it. There's a couple things that I would tweak about this in order to make it worth that $5.99 price point. But let me know, have you used this? Have you read about it? What do you think about something like the WalkingPad C2 in the comments below? This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews. Peace.